Oh, hello, folks. I'm decided to do it this way because I don't feel like showing my face on this one. 'Cause I feel like, just in case. Okay. So let's get into it. So tactical unity, alliances, and the backbiting that's going to happen. The thing is that when we get into, I'm not saying if, I'm saying when we get into these situations where these groups, these varying progressive groups, do start to become more relevant and, start to gain more strength, um, we're going to see them work, and I've seen this over and over on these lefty channels that I watch. And they'll be like, well, we don't, sock Dems, are the ones that killed Rosa Luxemburg, but we're going to go against, we're going to have tactical unity with them, to go against the Nazis or go against the fascists. And the thing is that once again, there are so many diverse groups out there that are going to be taking charge of different areas that eventually we're going to see these folks break down. Meaning, I mean, a logical tactical unity that would go on would be like, the Nation of Islam, for example, and the Five Percenters, the Nation of Gods and Earths. Although Nation of Gods and Earths, in general, that's just New York City. Maybe a little bit more on the East Coast, but in general, it's just New York City. You know what I mean? But that's a logical alliance that'll happen. I imagine here in the South, not just, and you know what, I'm gonna not just mention the more progressive ones, but we'll also talk about more right-wing groups as well. Like here in Texas, I imagine you're going to see more neo-Confederate sort of stuff going on. Same thing in a lot of the South, but I think especially in Texas, because ultimately they'll say, "Hey, we have we're the last victory, the last Confederate victory was here in Texas," which is factually true, but I really don't think they're going to have full-on, fascist or, they're not going to be waving the swastika around, at least in Texas. But that's my take. I don't know that for sure. But, we're going to see these various groups in Texas rise up. And definitely, in general, most of the groups that will come out in Texas, because ultimately, that's where I live, so I'm going to give my take on that, is these groups will find ways to unify in some form or fashion. You know what I mean? And I'm sorry I read the dead air, but basically, we're going to see these groups click up. And whatever left-wing groups exist in Texas, particularly in like Austin or Houston or Dallas, Fort Worth, those groups will get blown the fuck out. I'll just be honest with you. They're going to get blown the fuck out because no one's going to come and help them. I mean, I'm just going to be honest. I think that it'll be that way for a lot of the South. Because of course, a lot of the South is still very rural, very much conservative. Obviously, the black conservative and everything else. You saw all the Bernie bros and all the other, socialist LARPers who support Bernie were so mad about that. Oh, well, fuck those black conservatives. That's not racist, though. Shut the fuck up. But anyway, a little bit of editorializing there. But I just think it's absolutely ridiculous. Sorry, I keep burping and whatnot. Anyway, I don't get it. I really don't get it. Like I say, I'm probably not gonna watch the rest of this video. And particularly this one is about if it does come up, excuse me. I'm gonna skip over this. You hear some of the audio. This is just cringe. I really don't care about this broad. This is that chick Mexi, the vegan thought, as I like to call her. The one who's like, "Oh, I'm sorry. Are my boobies showing? Oh no!" Or, "Oh, is my bra strap showing? Oh no!" And then she's like, "Oh well, I'm a settler." It's just, I have to agree with some of the folks. It's like we're so tired of hearing about settlers, so tired of hearing about that book. It's like, okay, yeah, well done. A Japanese American wrote a book about settlers. Good for him. Thumbs up. But it's like, he's changed a lot of his stances because he got BTFO'd back in 1985 when he first wrote the book. And I guess he's still a Maoist and everything else. Apparently, he's still doing work. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if this dude wasn't a Fed. But then again, I'm sorry. That's something that's used too much in political space. It's like everyone's a Fed. And you might as well just say that at this point. Just like everyone's a Fed. I'm a Fed. You're a Fed. We're all getting Fed money. I'm sorry. But it's like, it's just so cringe. And I think about it with, obviously Mexi is all in for these various tribes. And you hear about these various tribes who want this land back. Now, of course, what I was thinking about was that they don't mention that, at least tribes in the United States, I can't speak for the tribes in Canada. A lot of the tribes in the United States, the bigger ones, they have casinos. I imagine that's not a good thing under socialism. I imagine that casinos are a no-no. It just kind of, propagates, the ideas of capitalism and opportunism. So I imagine that's not a good thing. I imagine casinos aren't a good thing, but the fact that you would that you would possibly go into, let's say, Fort Sill, Oklahoma, let's say, or, even, just crossing the Oklahoma border from Texas. And, you go out to, like I said, what is it? Well, Comanche Nation, Comanche, I'm trying to think. Comanche Nation is, I think that's the one right over the board. There's another one too. These two huge casinos. You can see them, off the highway. They're just huge, and it's just, and of course, there's, 25 entrances and only one exit. So I mean, it's like they plan it all out. But that's just the way it goes. I mean, that's the way they pay for things. And of course, you see these folks, and they have the Comanche Nation, license plate, for Oklahoma, this and that. They hold a lot of power. I don't hear about those types of things. I don't hear it. I don't hear those comments. They talk more about, what goes on these various other tribes. I really don't think they care about them. They use them as a talking point, as a way to show pity. They don't care about these folks. It's the same type of thing with with melanated people, as I'll say, as black people. Because I noticed that they will waste all their time talking about the rise of fascism and white nationalism. It's like, yeah, you know what? I will give them a point. I'll give them a point where it's like, okay, I will admit that, maybe Wignats kill more people than black nationalists or left-wing folks. All right, fair enough. But do you think that's going to change when, not even just the Nation of Islam? I think Nation of Islam is going to be smarter than that. Nation of Islam is getting Scientology money. You have to realize that. I mentioned that, I think, in the video on Yaku. They're getting money from Scientology, as much as they want to claim all this other stuff. They're collaborating with, Scientologists to get that money. But I think you will see a lot of these Kemet groups, and you will see, the offshoots of the NOI. They're like, man, we're going to go after these crackers, man. I don't see, and I saw that black red guard a while back. I'm sorry to keep mentioning this fool. I remember he was saying, it's like, oh, we can make deals with the NOI, this and that. And it just, I wonder if that fool still makes videos. I don't even want to look. I don't even want to, because I know he's just cringe in each of his videos. Now he's just e-begging. It's like, if I get real desperate, I'll probably be e-begging too. But it's like, for now, like I say, I'm trying to be smarter with this by at least not showing my face in this one. Now, you can see my face in the other ones, which kind of defeats the purpose. But, who knows? But anyway, it's like, once these groups achieve their basic goals, then it comes down to, hey, it's just like anything else. We think about the Mensheviks or the Kronstadt sailors. Kronstadt sailors, at least according to a biography I was reading about Trotsky, was just the Kronstadt sailors were were very instrumental in getting that victory. But then, of course, they got a little bit too rowdy. The anarchist portion of it was like, well, we don't, you're not giving power to them. My syndicalism, my workers' power. Well, screw you guys. And, then you had people like Emma Goldman up there. And, of course, she wrote a lot of racist things about Lenin. I'm going to continue to repeat that because it's true. And, the thing is that, we're going to see a similar breakdown. We're going to see these, if these lefty groups ever do gain a lot of influence, which I don't think they will, especially not in the United States. You can say, I don't really care about, younger folks, Zoomers are this or they're that, they're right wing, they're left wing. I don't give a fuck about none of that. When it comes down to it, they're going to, in general, they're going to take up the mantle of whatever exists today, and it's still right wing in general. Y'all have a good one. I'm going to go ahead and end it here. Sorry. Part 2 is coming up.